Hey, it's JP with Central Idaho Mountain Weather. It's July 13th, a little after 7 a.m., giving you an update on the Bench Lake fire. Looking at the morning webcam from Redfish, no vertical columns of smoke. Overnight, it settled down a little bit, calmed down. You can see some smoke that dropped into the valley floor with that overnight inversion. All right, looking at some updated information from the Forest Service. So this middle chunk here, we'll zoom in here in a second. That's where the fire's taking place. And they're just starting to run some data analysis on the possible spread of this fire and protecting some resources. Values at risk they talk about. So a lot of the values at risk is all of Redfish Lodge and the campgrounds, some of that infrastructure that's been built over the years. I wanted to talk about closures. So you can see area closure from the highway going on the Alpine Way Trail over towards Thompson and Williams Peak. So that beginning section's closed. It looks like you can still hike from Iron Creek over there if you want to take the long way. And then that closure runs into the bottom of the Fishhook Valley and out past Horseman's Peak. All the stuff on the inlet is closed. Lily Lake, Elephant's Perch, the approach to Alpine Lake, that's all closed all the way down to Decker Lake. And there's not many trails over here. And then the east side of the lake is also closed with all the campgrounds and the lodge. So looking at the possible spread of fire, there's a lot of dry materials and dead material up there. So they're looking at this thing spreading to the north and of course to the east over here. Let's zoom in a little bit more. They have updated the acreage to about 80, so I don't think that map actually showed it. My source that I was using before, the VERS satellite, I realized that each one of these pixels is about 34 acres, so that was actually making the fire look a lot bigger. So I found some other resources from friends that gets updated a lot quicker by the actual fire agency, and we'll just kind of show you this on an Onyx map. So here's the Bench Lake fire. Here's where it was initially reported over here, and then the Bench Hut. Bench Hut is over here at the bottom of this moraine where the wilderness boundary is. So it looks like it kind of crept right over the wilderness boundary. So a little update on what happened yesterday. They had 2 water scoopers running laps down Redfish. They were pretty much, see if I can draw this for you here. They were pretty much coming around the bottom of the lake here. Coming out the bottom of the lake here, scooping up water, and then coming back on top of the moraine and laying down lines here before repeating again. So I think that the fire, at least with the winds, have all been pretty moving from the west. So that means it's pushing the lake, or the fire towards Redfish Lake. They were able to have a pretty good suppression line on the west side, and that was just kind of, it seems like a natural one they were talking about, where there's all this talus here. So I think that talus really helped stop it right there from continuing to burn that way. So they did a really good job yesterday, from 40 acres reported at the morning to 80 acres at the end of the day, with winds gusting up to 30 miles per hour. That's pretty good. They also had 2 helicopters, one with heli repellers, another one that was a little bit smaller helicopter, probably running buckets and moving crews around. I don't know how much they were working on the ground yesterday with the winds being that severe. And then they had one air attack aircraft. That's pretty much just flying circles around the top, and they're just eyes in the sky, looking after safety, talking to the incident command, and moving resources around to just have a better idea on how to attack the fire. There is a new crew or incident command moving in today. Steve Shaw is going to be coming in at 10 a.m. and assume command at 6. So I'm assuming we're going to hear a briefing tonight at after 6 when things get settled in. They currently have Logan Hotshot crew on in the area, and then the Mormon Lake Hotshot crew is on their way today, and they're supposed to be running more air support as well. So hopefully they keep attacking that thing. Let's move on to what the weather is going to be looking like. Weather is not going to help out too much. This is our last day of that heat advisory. That's mostly for down south, but relative humidity is still going to be down in the teens today. Wind gusts are going to get up to high 20s out of the west, so that's going to help try to want to push that fire closer to Bench Hut and towards Redfish Lake. Tomorrow they should get a little break with the weather. Monsoonal air comes in with some cloud cover and knocks the temperature down a little bit, knocks the wind down a little bit. There is a threat of some dry lightning that could spark up more fire, so we'll just have to keep an eye on that. The closest weather station we have to that fire is Stanley Ranger Station. You can see the relative humidity got down to single digits yesterday and then went all the way up to the 70%, which helps slow down the fire overnight with those low winds, high humidity, cool temperatures. That's what you want to see. What else do I want to look at? Last thing we'll look at is the HER forecast. It's looking pretty dry again today. There are some light rain in the forecast. It's probably going to just be virga, so that's moisture falling from the sky and evaporating before it hits the ground. And that's we're really not going to pick up any moisture until tomorrow morning. It does look like there's a couple of bands that are going to go across where the fire is, so any little bit can help. Even just that big cloud cover will probably help the efforts, and hopefully those hotshot crews can put in some ground lines and protect what's going on up there. All right, I'll give you updates as the day progresses and more information comes out.